Hey guys, Unclejona here, back with a beer review for you. And this one's from a brewery that I think is doing something quite special, floating under the surface. We have done some of reviews on their beers before. One of my pals from the old days, Miles, you like this brewery, so this one's for you, brother. It is Thornbridge, and it is, if it focuses there, Wonderland. It's a chocolate porter. And I really like this style. I like chocolate porters, especially when we're getting slightly colder, moving into the winter, as we are. These type of beers are the ones that warm your cockles. It's in a 330, which is, you know, the par for the course these days, unfortunately. 6.8% volume. So this one deserves maybe to be in a smaller bottle. Did I say that? Yes, I did. I know I quite like the pint bottles, but 330s and 350s and 375s for the stronger beers, why not? I picked this one up in the UK supermarket Waitrose, and I just saw that it was a chocolate porter, and I was like, oh, fantastic beer. Liking the styles of Thornbridge. Got a nice little neck chief that has the sort of logo of the brewer, which is cool. Has the old naked lady on the label, and the way you can tell them apart, should you have a fridge full, is the colour. Well, obviously you can read the label, but it's the colour in the background. The different colour specifies the different kind of contents. We've even got the Thornbridge logo on the cap, which is always nice to see. Looking at the back, it names the hops they use, which I think is quite strange considering it's a porter. And they've said they've used Magnum, which I believe started life as a German hop, but now it's predominantly over in the United States. And a lot of people use it for bittering when you don't need any kind of aroma from the hops, that is, or they say it's quite clean, grassy, and I kind of agree. It's very, very neutral kind of hop. Somewhere up near 15% on the alpha acid, so fantastic for bittering if you don't want a dual hop. Like most people use Cascade, but you know, Cascade's not too bad, but getting expensive these days because it's famous. Right. Hardly any head whatsoever. Got quite a good level of carbonation, and the colour is, he says, like any good porter, really dark. It's not, it looks black on the camera, but it isn't. It is a dark brown, but you cannot see anything through there. Head wise, yeah, it's dissipating already. Quite nice big bubbles, and it's definitely a darker colour head. We're looking kind of, yeah, nice sort of browny, kind of creamy brown head. Oh my goodness. Getting a lot of roasty notes, roasted coffee. Little bit of that kind of milky, kind of milk stout kind of thing going on in the aroma. Can't really tell the hops, I'm not surprised at all. This one is all about the malts, and I would not be surprised if a substantial amount of this, maybe even up to about sort of 10% of this, is going to be darker malts, including obviously some sort of chocolate malt in there. Have another look at that head. Oh, look at that colour. It's fantastic. I have had this in the fridge, so I might leave it to warm up for my conclusion of this video, so there might be a little bit of a break. But I'm going to dive in there and see what we get. Almost 7% beer. Fantastic. Oh, yes. We're getting the bubbles as we were drinking, followed by that. I was going to say coffee, but it's not as straightforward as that. You've got coffee, you've got cocoa, like having a mocha, I guess. So you've got some coffee, but not a super coffee, a super strong coffee. It's quite a light filter coffee kind of taste, mixed in with that kind of lovely chocolatey kind of thing. I usually would say at this point, oh yeah, it's coating my mouth and all that kind of stuff, but it isn't. It really isn't. This is quite a kind of, it's got a nice mouthfeel, but it's quite watery as well. Did a bit of carbonation there. The other thing is, I'm not getting that kind of sweetness. You know, most porters, especially most chocolate porters and some milk stouts, have that kind of residual kind of sweetness that usually means that the sugar hasn't totally fermented, or in the case of slightly larger breweries, they might put some lacto in, or even tiny bit of back sweetening going on, and you do get that sweetness sometimes sticking to your lips. Not with this one. It is quite dry, watery, dry finish. You do get that chocolate though, but it's like, I don't know if you've ever had raw chocolate, like a raw cacao bean, and you kind of chewed it. You do get that chocolate bitterness, that chocolate hit, for lack of a better word, but you don't get that sweetness that you would do if you were eating a Mars bar or something like that. Not that I don't like Mars bars, you understand. Yeah, it's that kind of milkiness going on. Definitely that lacto, followed by that chocolate kind of bitterness. A little bit of coffee in there. Maybe a hint of kind of, maybe I was going to say a hint of vanilla, but it's not strictly vanilla. It's, some chocolates do have that kind of back feel, which is kind of spicy, if you know what I mean. And it's just there in the background. Very interesting. I'm liking this. The other thing to say, almost a 7% beer. Let's have a look. 6.8. We'll chuck that up there again so you can have a look at that. You could admire that lady there. 6.8 on the ABV. They have hidden the alcohol very, very well in this beer. You do not have that kind of hot, kind of winter warmer thing that happens sometimes, where you're walking down the road after a few beers and you can definitely have that hot mouthfeel, if you know what I'm trying to say. I think this is quite a nice beer. I do actually prefer to have a little bit of sweetness there, just to counteract the actual really dry finish of this, which is crazy considering it's a chocolate beer, chocolate porter. I think I might have done this beer a slight disservice by having it in the fridge. What I would suggest is keep it at room temperature. Be careful when you open it in case there's some explosiveness. I doubt there will be because it's a commercial beer. But yes, don't chill this one down. I know you shouldn't do with porters and stouts anyway, but I usually like a colder drink. However, I suggest you guys, when you drink this, to get the full experience, dim the lights a little bit. In a slightly darkened room, as I have said many times before, with a kind of more wintry style of beers, and have this one at room temperature and kind of sip it as you go along, and maybe even swirl it around your mouth to get that full chocolatey blast. If you don't like raw chocolate or raw cacao kind of products, you know, I'm talking sort of 70, 80, maybe even 90% chocolate, that dark chocolate. This one might be a step too far because it isn't sugary at all, not even in the kind of lacto way, even though maybe there's the touch of it because of the kind of milk feeling that I'm getting. This one is about the people that like that raw, sort of gritty chocolate that you pull out of your teeth. I think it's a good example of the style. I think I would probably still go for the Meantime, or yeah, other brands are available that are just slightly sweeter. That's my own personal taste. So get one of these beers. As I say, they're available in UK supermarket Waitrose, which I was surprised about. They do some really good beers these days. Go out and get yourself one. See if you agree with Uncle Jonah. Make sure you report back for more beers and more good times. Winter is coming.